Rob from Higher Power H2O. This is a redo of the video from yesterday. Had poor audio and it loaded 90 degrees off. Hopefully it loads right this time. All I have is my phone right now. My laptop's charging jack is broke. Gotta finish taking it apart and solder it back in. This is a response to the 2004 Dodge running on 100% HHO. You know, I like to keep an open mind about stuff, but also, you know, go with the gut feeling and real world experience. There's a lot of red flags, and you know, Zero had mentioned a couple of them, and you know, just from what I've experienced and the extensive experience with engines. So I talked to both these gentlemen. Both seem like really nice guys on the phone, fine and great. David and Fred, and I guess David's more of the business command, and Fred's the engineer, the developer, whatever. David had said that he broke the cell, he left it on. You know, we've all had accidents and ruined our cells, probably. I know I have. So they're going to rebuild it, and he had said that they're going to do a genset instead of the truck and kind of abandon the truck. And I had kind of told them, you know, it's probably not the best of ideas. You'd already put the videos out there, you know, just get the truck back running. It's not that big a deal, and get it validated. And he seemed receptive and seemed like he thought it was a decent idea. And I left it at that. And then Fred had called me back and talked to Fred and talked for a while, and he had said that he had damaged the truck on the 3,000 mile tour there and burnt some holes in pistons because he ran lean on HHO. So I didn't get that from David, but I guess that's how it goes. So, you know, on the last 850 miles of the trip, I guess the screw and the MOSFET fell out, shorted out the board. So Fred then proceeded to take diodes and, you know, modify the alternator to put out a high voltage DC pulse, which is totally legit. You can do that. The only problem is unless you have twin alternators, you don't have an alternator on the vehicle. Chrysler's field is controlled with the computer. If you give it a high voltage output like that, it's going to shut down the field. It could externally drive the field. I do it on my truck with an external regulator, but still it regulates it at 14 volts. So if it did in fact go to a high voltage DC, he had no alternator, wouldn't be able to drive 850 miles on two batteries like that, not on a Chrysler. They have a very high electrical demand. And he said that he had hooked the cell directly up to it and taken the batteries out of the loop. So that was the flag. And then the other flag is just the volume needed. I've run 13 horsepower, you know, Honda engine on a genset. 5 liters a minute to get the thing to idle at, you know, 450, 500 RPM, and to put a load on it and get it up to 3,600, you know, with a 65 kW generator, and I loaded it up with 2,000 watts. I needed, you know, 18 to 20 liters a minute. I know D3 and Smart Scarecrow had similar numbers. I don't know exactly, but they were in that area. And a few other people, Brute Force, and there's some others on, but 50 liters a minute to run a 4.7 is just really hard to swallow. And I know I'll get comments that it was ortho hydrogen and not para, and you know, I need to see tests on that too. I've seen some videos and I've heard it one time, you know, a little bit of an explosion difference from what was claimed to be ortho versus para. But I don't see a 10 times more power with that style of electrolysis. Could be wrong, but again, I'm going from experience. And the final one is running lean on HHO. melting the pistons. It's not going to happen. HHO is kind of like a diesel. You get your lean fuel ratios to make a diesel idle. You get it to 40 or 50 to 1. You go any lower than that, it simply turns off. Doesn't get hot, doesn't have high combustion temperatures. It just simply will not fire. To burn a hole in a diesel, you have to overfuel it. HHO is very similar to that. Now gasoline, the lowest I've been able to get a vehicle to run is about 36, 37, to 1 in that area. They say theoretically it's 40 to 1. Honda's got one that goes 65 to 1, but they've done something pretty ingenious. If you want to look that up, the iVTEC-I, it's supposed to come out in 2012, I think. They localized a little pocket of fuel on the top of the piston. But anyways, different subject. So, gasoline has a range of damaging pistons at probably the 16 to 23 to 1 area. Anything later than that, it simply drops energy and it will not melt a hole in a piston. And it does it by over-oxidizing the fuel. Get too much atmospheric oxygen and, it'll get really hot. And it'll localize. And it'll kind of gather around the spark plug and slowly chip away at the piston. Oxyacetylene torch will do the same thing. If you get it and turn the fuel way down and the oxygen way up, you have to be on the workpiece, but it'll do a very similar effect. It'll quit cutting and localize, get white hot, and just kind of chip away at the surface of your workpiece. So that was the other big old red flag to me. Now, I'd love for these guys to prove me wrong. I know the runaround of, we're going to get rid of the trucks so we can hide things too easy. I can give you a list of at least 5 different mechanics that have nothing to do with HHO that'll verify it. It's very easy to verify. I can drive up in 2 hours. I'd love to see it anyways. Whether it works or not, I'd still like to see it. Super easy to verify. You're not going to hide nothing from me. There's very few ways to get fuel into an engine. Isolate vacuum lines, make sure the fuel line's disconnected, all 9 yards. Those videos not out to, to hurt anybody or belittle anybody, but, it's a lot of excitement about it, and you see it all over PissWiki and all these other forums, and everybody's, this is the holy grail, and it's not verified yet. We're kind of jumping to conclusions here. I've had people ask if I know the key. No, I don't know the key. I'm seeing why HHO does what it does. The whole Stan Myers or any of these other people, never saw it. It's not been replicated. Do I 100% know it happened? Absolutely not. I'd like to think it happened, but it's not there. I know there's gains to be had in an engine with HHO, and I know that you can do things with an engine that you normally can't unless you have it. There's nothing magical about it. It's a great technology, and who knows, maybe there is, some little way to release a lot more energy than what science would commonly know. Science changes all the time. Nobody knows everything. And as soon as we accept that and realize that and just go with your gut and your common sense, it'd be all right. But I think this video is a little misleading, and it's kind of sad. So if you guys could prove me wrong, great, do it. I'd love to see it. But as far as now, I say it's no bueno. It's not happening. So everybody, take care. Be safe.